Hi, I'm Daniel Yeow, and I'm a psychologist as well as a growth, performance, and resilience expert. Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Yeow. I want to talk to you all about resilience. How many of you have seen this picture? Now, what happens when this happens? Suddenly there's some indicators. My question to you is, what do you do? When you've got these indicators up, what do you do? The problem is when people see those indicators and they ignore it. Because when they ignore it, sorry man, your car's out of order. You're out. That's what I saw. People who ignored the signs because they thought, I'm just gonna push through it. I'm good enough, I'm tough enough. I don't need to worry about those things. I can push through it. And maybe they did for a week, for 2 weeks, for 2 months, maybe 2 years. But at some point, something happens and they end up like this. It was a crisis situation. This person is now in the state where they're unable to function. This is very simple to me. This is all about early intervention. I want to talk a little bit about the illusion of control. Control is a little bit like driving a car, right? Sometimes you're in the driver's seat and you're in control. Sometimes you're in the passenger seat, and unless you're my wife, you're not driving, right? In my case, it doesn't matter where she's sitting, she's always driving. Help me, please. The difficulties with the illusion of control is when you think you're in the driver's seat, but you're actually in the passenger seat. Rather than talk to you about this, I would much rather show you all something. We're going to talk about control. In front of these ladies and gentlemen, I have a whole bunch of dice. Choose a number, put it facing upright, cover it with the cup. I am going to try to influence you. This is a completely 3 choice. I said it was a completely 3 choice. You heard that, right? I told you not to be influenced. Is that a 3? Could you lift up and have a look? Yeah, but it is a 3. I've just demonstrated to you that you all thought you were in control of the situation, right? You're all driving. I'm sorry. I messed you around a little bit. I was the one driving. For other people, when that illusion of control is dispelled, what do they experience? They experience pain, frustration, anger, irritation. We're all human. You know, when we have our lack of control shown to us as you don't have any control, that can be the response. So, here's how you counter it. You can plan ahead, you can schedule, you can organize, absolutely, you can do these things. But you have to be prepared for change. So what I want to talk to you about is the CIA model, okay? First thing, C, stands for control. So what that means is control what parts of the situation you can. It might mean identifying options, it might mean identifying pros and cons for each option and going, which one's the best one? And there might not be a good option at the end of the day. But it's about identifying what do you actually have control over. The next thing is influence. Influence what you can. It could mean finding a mentor, someone who is better in this particular area than yourself. If it was in the world of, let's say, investments, I could go speak to someone who is amazing in that area, and they'll be able to provide me with more information. And in doing so, they may actually give me more options to think about that I'd never thought about before. Because, of course not, I'm not an expert, I don't know. So if you've controlled what you can and if you've influenced what you can, that just leaves A. And I'm sure some of you can already guess, but that's acceptance. You have to accept that is the situation. I want to be very clear, acceptance is not to give up. The more concerned we become over the things we can't control, the less we will do with the things we can control. What is resilience? It is the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, challenges, conflict, difficulties. It's our ability to adapt to change. If life is a marathon, resilience is your cardio. Communication, that's what underpins relationships. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. If you're aware of it, you can do something about it. But it requires you to be accepting of feedback. My parents are avid gardeners, and my dad shared with me something that was quite poignant, I thought. He tells me, 3 gardeners are working in the garden and they're asked, what are you doing? The first gardener says, I'm planting seeds. The second gardener says, I'm growing an orchard. And the third gardener says, I'm trying to cure the world of the illness known as hunger. The first gardener has a job. The second gardener has a career. And the third gardener, they have a calling. It's okay to just have a job, have a career, work towards something. But to really succeed in this life, it's working towards having a calling. Because if you have a calling, that will help to drive you. It will help to make sense of the world around you. It will make sure that the things that you do are impactful, to know that you're able to derive meaning from your actions and all the things you do. Even if you can't succeed with every single client you see, you're still making a difference in the world. And that's my calling. So for yourselves, what's yours? Looking forward to working with you at your next conference.